Morning, morning, morning. It is Tuesday and it is time for our English. So let's get cracking. Rewrite this sentence with an added fronted adverbial which begins with a preposition. So, preposition, remember, is a word that tells you where something is. So whether it's next to, on, under, near, many words. So if you look at the picture, and we know what fronted adverbial is, it's obviously time, place. Well, you're going to need place today, aren't you, as a sentence opener. The bed is under the tree house. So to start a fronted adverbial with a preposition, you could start with the word under. So you could put, under the tree house, Caden had a bed. Lovely. The next bit is really catching my brain out this morning. I don't think I'm fully firing on all pistons. You've got to end in the sound that makes shull. Obviously, it's not spelt like that. That's just phonetically how it sounds. So shull is like T-I-A-L, isn't it? Very heavy rain is a fantastic word. Torrential rain. Top secret is confidential. But then not real. I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, that's fictional. But then I'm like, does that make the shull sound? Fictional. Shull, fictional. Fictional. So I'm caught out by that. Either doesn't quite fit, or I'm not thinking of the right word there. The next one. Explain why this possessive apostrophe sentence is incorrect. The apostrophe is actually correct. It's the spelling of the word that's wrong. That's one family. So if it's one family's holiday, the apostrophe needs to go in between the Y and the S. But it's not. You've been told this is a possessive apostrophe sentence. It's actually spelling of families. You need the plural spelling of families. So F-A-M-I-L-I-E-S apostrophe, which looks really strange because you would not really ever say lots of families things together. So it's actually the spelling that's incorrect, not the apostrophe there. Next one, D. Tick to show whether the underlined word is being used as an adverb or an adjective. Don't forget, an adjective is to use the description. An adverb is describing a doing or existing being. So, the woman looked angry. Well, that's an adjective because you're describing how she looks. The lovely teacher praised her class. Oh, the lovely teacher praised her class. Well, that would also be an adjective, wouldn't it? Because she's lovely. You did the job well. Well, you did the job, that's what you've done, and you've done it well. So you've described doing it. So that last one is an adverb. So you've got adjective, adverb. Lovely. Up here, very similar to some of my do nows. Can you think of a correct form of the verb to have? Because I had ones like to run or to walk. So today, Darcy and Oscar been learning about Greek mythology. So today, Darcy and Oscar have been learning about Greek mythology. Last month, Max had the best time at Scout Cub Camp. That's hard to say. And then Florence's guinea pig has the softest fur. If the guinea pig snuffed it, it could be had, I suppose. Florence's guinea pig had the softest fur, but we're going to assume that the guinea pig is alive. Do not worry about the present perfect. We've not had a chance to look at that. We would have looked at that this half term, but it's not something that I want to do just over a video. And we'll look at it when we get back. And the last bit is a little conundrum, like I used to put for our spellings. It is a Year 5 spelling word, but that's all the clue we've got. I think it's disastrous. I've scribbled it down. I think it's disastrous. So there you go. On to your English for today. So yesterday, should have had a little quick look at the waggle. You should recognise it because it was a waggle from when we did the Victorians. And you should have also put a few bullet points of ideas for things that you might want to write a letter or an email about. Whether it's, like we said, a product you're not happy with, maybe it's an update in a game, or maybe something in the current news. Maybe you've got some issues with how things are being handled, or a certain event in the news. We've got a lot of issues in America at the moment with black rights. So there's loads that you could potentially write some sort of letter of complaint about and voice your genuine concerns about something. So hopefully you've got a little bit of a list going. And you hopefully realise that you're going to be peeing. But do be careful, because we're using our laptops or something electrical to look at these, do be careful peeing around electrical equipment. Ha ha ha. Very funny, Mr. Cooper. Ha! So, just a little reminder, especially for those parents listening in. Hello, parents. I'm telling your child to pee on their work. You did hear me correctly. But remember, P is your point. So when you start your paragraph, what is the point that you're making? What is the point that... Tell the reader, here's what this paragraph is going to be about. This doesn't mean your paragraph is 3 sentences long. Okay, it can be a couple of sentences for each of these things. But your first section of your paragraph is always, here's what this paragraph is going to be about. Here's what I'm not happy with. This is what happened. Tell me. Then your evidence. Well, what's your evidence? Was it an experience? What happened? Is it something you saw or did? Something you've discovered? You know, what evidence is there to back up your discretion, your thing you're annoyed about, or what your expectations? A quote. Something that supports the point that you're making. So, for example, if it was a product and it wasn't the right size, it's, you know, you'd say the point is, purchase this under the impression that it was going to be this by this and would fit in this. What's the evidence? It says on the website that the measurements are this and this. And then you need to explain why it's unacceptable or the impact that it could have. Okay. So, you know, for that one, it could be that you've now got to purchase something else. It's a waste of your money, a waste of your time, and or whatever else you're talking about. Now, in class, we would have had a bit more sort of guidance to what we would be writing, but I think it's going to be really interesting for you guys to choose something to write about, because you're all having different experiences at the moment. I've given you a little bit of a bit of a weird thing. I'm going to tell you to pee, but we're going to look at burgers. Okay, yeah, it's a strange one. Bear with me. Now, the reason it's a burger is just because it's got layers. Okay, it's just to help you visually understand how your paragraph's going to look. So your point is going to be your starting off. Okay, remember that's not just one sentence, but for today, all I want you to do is plan it out. So you can just jot something down. Point, wrong size. Okay, you might want to draw these out. Then you need a conjunctive adverb. Now, hopefully, you can remember what conjunctive adverb is. Oh, there's more peeing advice here, look. There you go. You can start with one of these, firstly. Arguably. But then, if you go down to conjunctive adverbs, you can decide which word might work to help help your point flow into your explanation. Cause or effect is normally quite good. So here's my point. Or actually cause and effect and contrast are quite good. So here's what I expected, here's what I wanted, however, or in spite of all of this, this is what happened. Rather, so you've got to think, how are you talking, what are you talking about? You've got to make sure, here is my point, here is the evidence that backs this up, and then here's why I'm not happy. Explain why this isn't good enough. And again, you've got to use a conjunctive adverb to think about that. Okay? So, that I remember last time in class, conjunctive adverb did catch some of us out. Remember, these are all capital letters for a reason. They start your next sentence. Alright? So, in here, your evidence starts there. That's one sentence. However, comma, what's your evidence? And you can have another sentence after that. And then when you finish with your evidence, conjunctive adverb, comma, explanation. Okay? And to be fair, this is probably something that some people in your house might be able to help you with, because we all experience writing things like this. We don't all sit down and write stories, but we do all experience writing something in this structure. It might be that some of your parents work at university. Students have to write in this style when they're writing essays. It might be that somebody works in a complaints department and actually receives messages like this. I think it might be a good idea to chat to some parents when they're free. You know, if they're working from home as well, let them work at home. But this is something that is quite a life skill, so it might be something that you might want to just like go, how would you write this? It'd be quite an interesting conversation. And you have, like I say, you have got some extra bits down here just to help you out. But again, this is just your planning. So just some notes for today, but make sure that it works and it flows, okay? And I am looking forward to the end of the week, and I'm going to see what some of your complaints are and see whether you deliver it with the correct balance of respect and politeness, but with, clear frustration and passion.